Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Heisennburgg here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to download and install CR ENB, which was highly requested by you guys. So, before we get started, there are some things that I would like to bring to your attention. One of those things being that, this ENB just had a major update and the author tweaked it a lot. So, it looks different than the last version did, and I think the author did a really awesome job on making it look a lot better than it used to. So there's that. And then let me scroll down a little bit here. And then for the compatibility issues, this ENB is not compatible with remove exterior fog or revamped exterior fog. And it says down here, use main climates of Tamriel version 3.1 and its expansions for Dawnguard and Dragonborn. Do not use other climates of Tamriel weather patches because CR ENB already covers these. So when you go to activate climates of Tamriel, only use the patches on this page, the one by JJC71. Only use the Dragonborn patch, the Dawnguard, blah 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 blah. Like, don't use Supreme Storms and all that stuff because CR ENB already covers that. And then it says you can use the ELFX mod minus the enhancer. Only use the enhancer only if you still feel the interior and dungeons look bright. And then the required mods are Pure Waters, ELFX 2.0 or ELE version 0.94, Climates of Tamriel and all Climates of Tamriel patches from JJC71, and I just talked about the patches. Make sure to only use the ones on this page, which is the main Climates of Tamriel page with all the patches down here. And then Vivid Clouds and Fogs, Vanilla and Climates of Tamriel. This mod is not essential, but it's highly recommended because the author says he used this texture pack to make this preset. So again, number 4 is not essential, but it's highly recommended. So those are about the only things that I really needed to say before we actually get into the installation part. So jumping into the installation now, we're going to scroll down here to step number 1. We're going to download the latest ENB binary file. So I'm going to go ahead and go to enbdev.com, and there'll be a link for this website in the description. And I'm probably just going to give you guys a direct link to it, but if you're already here, you're going to have to click News down here. And on the left-hand side, go ahead and click Download, and then scroll down to the bottom and click TES Skyrim. And then it says to use version 272 because that's the latest version, but that's not available anymore, so we're going to go ahead and use version 279. So just go ahead and click on that, and then scroll to the bottom of the page and make sure you click the download arrow right here. And you're going to need a program that manages archives in order to install this. You could download WinRAR or 7-zip. If you don't already have a program like that, there'll be links for WinRAR and 7-zip down in the description. But when you get a pop-up like this, once the archive is done installing, you could just drag and drop the archive on your desktop for right now, and we'll come back to it in just a minute. So we're going to go back to our internet browser, and we're just going to close out of ENBDev because we're done with it. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the Files tab on the CR ENB page. And under Main Files, we're going to manually download the CR Realistic 272 beta version because that is the most updated and newest version of the ENB. And then we're going to click Continue with my download. And again, it's going to start downloading as an archive file. And if you wanted to try one of the older versions, you're more than welcome to try his other versions under old versions. The installation for all of his versions is the exact same, but I'm going to be choosing the most updated version, so you're more than welcome to choose whichever preset you like. But either way, once your preset is done installing, again, we're just going to drag and drop it onto our desktop. And you should be left with these two archives right here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to extract these archives into folders. It just makes life a whole lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on it. And if you use WinRAR, you're going to click this third option right here. And if you use 7-zip, you can bring down your menu and click the fourth option. And it's going to turn it into a folder like I just said, which is what you want. And then we're going to do the same thing for the ENB archive. We're going to right-click it, click the WinRAR users, click the third option. 7-zip users, click the fourth option, and you'll be good to go. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and delete both of the archives. And what we're going to do now is we're going to locate our Skyrim folder. And an easy way to do that is if you use Nexus Mod Manager, bring up your Mod Manager. And if you see this orange folder right here with the arrow coming out of it, if you click on that, you'll get a drop-down menu. Just click Open Game Folder, and it'll take you right to your Skyrim folder. If you use Mod Organizer, there's unfortunately not a button that I'm currently aware of that'll just take you right to it. But if you look down here in this little filter section, there should, yeah, here we go. It'll tell you the letter drive it's on, and then Programs, Steam, Steam Apps, Com, and Skyrim. So it's going to be wherever you installed Steam, but if you're having that hard of a time finding it, you can just go down to your Start button down here and type in Skyrim Launcher with no spaces in between, and it should find it automatically for you. So once you bring up your Skyrim folder, you'll know you're in the correct place when you see Skyrim Launcher and TESV. If you don't see the .exe at the end of your files, don't worry about that. It's the same thing either way. So once you bring up your Skyrim folder, we're going to open up the ENB279 binary folder. And you're going to see an Injector version, and you're going to see a wrapper version. I'm going to be going over the wrapper version installations because those are the most common type of ENB installations. If for some reason the wrapper version isn't working out for you, you're probably going to have to try out the Injector version, and I'm going to have an annotation on my screen, or in the video, that you can click on right about now. That'll take you to a really good Injector version, like tutorial that a friend of mine made that shows you how to set up the folder for it. So for now, just go ahead and click on the wrapper version. And we're only going to need one file out of here, which is the d3d9.dll file. So you can go ahead and just copy that, and then paste that into your Skyrim folder, and then we can close out of the binary folder because we're done with it. Then we can go ahead and open up the CR ENB folder. Then click on this, and then we're going to click on main, and then you're going to see 3 folders and then a whole bunch of files. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight everything in here except for data, so make sure data is unhighlighted. And then we're going to go ahead and copy those and then just paste them into our Skyrim folder. And then what we're going to do with the data folder is we're going to right click on it. And if you use WinRAR, you're going to go ahead and click Add to Archive. And if you use 7-zip, you're going to bring up your menu and click Add to Archive as well. You're going to get a menu that looks something like this. Now, obviously name it something pertaining to the ENB's data files. So I'm just going to name mine CR ENB data and then hit Enter. And then it should have made it into an archive for you. And when it did, you can go ahead and drag and drop it onto your desktop. I'm going to minimize this for just a second. If you use Nexus Mod Manager, you can go ahead and bring it up. And make sure you're on your Mods tab right here. And if you click this Add Mod from File puzzle piece, go ahead and click Desktop or wherever you extracted it to. Go ahead and click on CR ENB Data, and then click Open. And it'll add it in here as if you downloaded it from Manager off of Nexus, which is really cool and really easy, so you don't have to just drag and drop it into your data folder and all that crap. So go ahead and activate it once you've done that. If you use Mod Organizer, you're going to click this button right here in the top left with the box and the CD, and it's the same thing as Nexus Mod Manager. Just go to Desktop and then click CR ENB Data, click Open. Make sure you change the name, because Mod Organizer likes to change the names of things. And once you've changed the name, click Manual, and it's going to give you a red error message that says no game data on top level. Well, to get rid of that, just right click on the data folder and click Set Data Directory, and then just click OK. And then don't forget to check mark it in your mod list, and then it'll be activated. So we're going to go back to the CR ENB folder, and we're going to go to Optional. And obviously it's optional, but the author, you can add these in here if you want to. For this one is ultra innies, and then he has a low innies for more performance. So there's already an ENB series.ini file in here, but obviously the low ini is for for extra performance if you have like a low-end to mid-ranged PC. And then Ultra is obviously for people with high-end PCs or that would just like to do screen archery. So if you wanted to do either Ultra or low, you would just copy the ENBSeries.ini file and then paste that into your Skyrim folder, and then just copy and replace, and then you'll be good to go. But once you've done that, we're pretty much done installing the ENB. You could read this how to adjust color if you like, but I'm not going to. So we can go ahead and close out of this, and we can delete this CR ENB data. And we're going to go back to our internet browser, because I'm pretty much going to show you guys how to tweak your INI settings. And if we go right here to where it says display, it's going to have all these things that we have to tweak. I'll show both Nexus Mod Manager users and Mod Organizer users how to edit your INI settings. If you use Nexus Mod Manager, you can go down to your Start button down here, and then go ahead and click Documents. And then from there, you can click My Games, and then click Skyrim. And then you should see a Skyrim.ini file and a SkyrimPrefs.ini file. We're going to be tweaking these Skyrim prefs, and if I were you, I highly recommend that you download a program called Notepad++. It makes your life a whole lot easier, and it's free. There'll be a link for it down in the description if you're interested. But if not, just go ahead and edit the Skyrim prefs, and you should get a window that looks something like this. If you use Mod Organizer, go ahead and bring up Mod Organizer, and you're going to see this button with 4 puzzle pieces on it. If you click that, you'll get a drop-down menu. Click Any Editor, and you'll see 2 tabs right here. Just click the Skyrim Prefs.ini tab, and you're in the correct place. So I'm going to show you guys a really easy way to tweak your INI settings that'll make it go by super quick. If you go back to your internet browser, where it says bFlowPointRenderTarget equals 1 right here, we're just going to double-click on the word, and it's going to highlight it for us automatically. And then we're going to do Control-C to copy it. And Nexus Mod Manager users, you can go back to your Notepad, and then do Control-F to bring up a Find menu, and then Control-V to paste it, and then either hit Find Next or hit Enter, and it'll find the setting automatically for you. bFlowPointRenderTarget is the most important setting in any ENB configuration. So if this is not set to 0, the ENB won't work correctly. Or if it is set to 0 and not 1, the ENB won't work correctly. So make sure you change it to 1. Now, if you use Mod Organizer, before you do the Control-F command, make sure you click in the gray box first to select the INI settings. And since I'm using the Windows, the classic skin for right now, it didn't highlight in blue around it. But normally if you're just using the regular Windows 7 or Windows 8 or whatever, it'll highlight in blue once you did that. And then you can do Control-F and then Control-V and then Find Next. So yeah, I'm going to have an annotation that you guys can click on that'll skip to the next part of the video, because I'm pretty sure that you guys get the point of editing INI settings. But if you want to follow along, just in case you feel like you're going to get lost, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, I'm going to have an annotation that'll skip to the next part. But before you do click that annotation, if the notepad says cannot find, just add the setting manually. So yeah, if you guys are skipping ahead, I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright, so for the people that are staying, we're going to go ahead and do this setting now. Double click on it, Control-C. And I'm only going to do my editing in Mod Organizer now, because I don't use Nexus Mod Manager. But it's the exact same, just do the Control-V, or Control-F, Control-V, and it'll find the setting automatically for you. For some reason, sometimes a Mod Organizer, it doesn't always find it. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Right, Control-C, Control-F, and Control-V. Mine's already at 1. Control-C, Control-F, and Control-V. Alright, so Mod Organizer users, if you had to edit anything, go ahead and click the Save button down here, and then close out. Nexus Mod Manager users, you can go up to File and Save, or you can just do Control-S, and then you can close out. And what we're going to be doing now is we're going to go back to our Skyrim folder, and once you get there, you should see a file called ENBLOCAL, and it may or may not have the .ini at the end of it, but it's the same thing either way. We're going to go ahead and edit that, just like we did with the INI settings. And we're going to be focusing on 3 different settings in here, which are reserved memory size MB, video memory size MB, and auto detect video memory size. Now, reserved memory size MB, if you have 3 gigabytes of VRAM, not regular RAM, VRAM or more, a good baseline to start at is 512. And if you have less than 3 gigabytes of VRAM, 256 is a good baseline to start at. Now, I have 3, so I'm going to start out at 512. And I have a diagram for video memory size and reserved memory size down in my description for people that get confused. But I'll just try to explain them as easy as I can. Reserved memory size MB, the lowest setting that you can use is 128. And the highest setting you can use is 1024. And this number is to be either increased or decreased in intervals of 128. So obviously 128 being the lowest, and then it would go 256, 512, 768, and so on and so forth. But like I said, 512 is my baseline. And like I also just said, there's a diagram down in the description for the people that get confused on this part. The only reason why you would want to mess with this number is if you experience a lot of stuttering or lag in game, and this could be your fix. But yeah. And then video memory size MB is how much VRAM, not regular RAM, VRAM that you have in megabytes. And I have 3 gigabytes of VRAM, so 3072 is the correct number for that. Now, I have 1 gigabytes through 4 gigabytes down in the description for the correct megabyte number. 1 gigabyte is 1024, 2 gigabytes is 2048, 3 is 3072, and 4 is 4096. And if you have more VRAM than 4 gigabytes, you would just add 1024 to it, and it would give you your number. So 3072. Now, for auto detect video memory size, the author has it automatically set to false. Now, if for some reason you don't know how much VRAM you have in megabytes, you could just put this at 0 and then put this to true, and the ENB host will automatically detect how much VRAM you have, so you don't even have to worry about how much you have. But some people like to fill in their stuff manually, and I'm one of those people. I just like to fill out everything. But yeah, if you don't feel like worrying about this, just put it at 0 and then set auto detect video memory size to true, and you won't even have to worry about it. But I'm just gonna set mine to false and set mine at the correct number, because I'm just weird like that. But yeah guys, that's really about it for the ENB local. So once you've edited these 3 settings, go up to File and Save, or Control S, and then close out. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our Skyrim folder again, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to open up the Skyrim launcher. And once it opens up, we're going to go ahead and click on Options. And you're going to want to make sure your anti-aliasing is set to off, and then you're going to want to make sure your anisotropic filtering is set to off as well. And then if you click on the Advanced window right here under Detail, you're going to want to make sure the FXAA is unchecked. But whenever I install an ENB, my recording software doesn't like the d3d9.dll file, so that's why my launcher stopped working. But as soon as you click Advanced right here, you'll see an FXAA box. Just make sure it's unchecked and you'll be good to go. So one last thing before we actually go in-game and check it out. Whatever mod manager you're using, if you go to your plugins tab, Nexus Mod Manager users, you would click the plugins. And if we scroll down a little bit, you'll have 3 different plugins that the CR ENB data gave us, which is the CR ENB Snow Effects, and CR ENB and Pure Waters ESP. You're going to want to make sure all 3 of those are checked marked. And before we go in-game, we're going to run loot. So Mod Organizer has it built in, so I'm just going to click this sort button and I'll be good to go. But for the people that don't know what loot is, there'll be a link for it down in the description. Loot is really important to get your load order all situated. But yeah guys, that's really about it on installing the ENB. I'm going to go ahead and run my game now just to show you guys that the ENB works correctly. So yeah guys, I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so once you've loaded up your game, you should see this pop-up message in your top left-hand corner. And if you don't see that message, you did something wrong. So make sure you go back and double check that you've done my steps exactly as I've done them. And then you'll get this yellow message telling you if you press Shift and Enter, it'll bring up an editor menu. And this is basically called your GUI menu, and you can tweak the ENB however you want through this message. You could change stuff for performance reasons, or you can just mess with it just to mess with it. And in order to save your changes, you would just click Save Configuration and then Apply Changes. And then Shift Enter to get out of the menu. And then one last thing before we go in game. If you press the star key on your number pad, it'll bring up a little FPS counter in your top left hand corner. So that's a cool little feature for the people that don't have fraps or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and load up my game now. Make sure you load it up indoors, because that's what the author said to do. So let me go ahead and load it up in here. Alright guys, so I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so once you've loaded up your game, you should be able to immediately tell that the game is, or that the ENB is working correctly. And I went ahead and walked around outside real quick just to kill some time, because I would have had to edit that out. But yeah guys, this is what CR ENB looks like, and I'm actually really surprised on how good it looks compared to the last time I tried it out. Now, if you wanted to compare the ENB to vanilla Skyrim, or if you just wanted to turn it off for a minute, you just press Shift and F12 and it'll turn the ENB off completely, and then Shift F12 to turn it back on. And yeah guys, this is CR ENB, and like I said, I'm actually really impressed with it. And this is Verdant Grass 2.0, the newest version of it, and I'm really impressed with that also. But yeah guys, that's really about it. I hope this video was easy enough to follow along with. This is my first ENB installation tutorial I've made in a really long time. CR ENB wasn't available on Nexus for a while because the author was updating it. But yeah guys, the next ENB installation tutorial I'm gonna do is I think Project Matzo, if I want to check my my ENB request Notepad thing that I have. But yeah guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. If you have any questions or if you need any help with anything, don't hesitate to ask. If you have any video requests that you would like me to make a video on, again, just let me know, send me a message, leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So you guys, this was how to download and install CR ENB, the most updated and the realistic version, and I'll see you guys in the next video.